Our word of the week this week comes from our most recent Koine Corner, where we looked at Mark chapter 3 and the man with the withered hand in the synagogue. And that word is porosis. Porosis means hardness or insensitivity. And let's start out back in Mark chapter 3, verse 5 from the ESV with the Koine supplied, and we'll take a look at that first example. And he looked around at them with anger, grieved at their hardness of heart, porose, hardness of heart, and said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." And he stretched it out, and his hand was restored. So hardness of heart is a way of describing an intransigence, a calcitrance, where the thing is rigid and unyielding and not willing to accept other things, other ways of being, other points of view, or influence. I like to say, it's a phrase that I've enjoyed for years, some people are impervious to instruction. You just can't get through to them because they've walled it off. It's just a hardness of heart. Next up, we're going to see in Ephesians chapter 4, verses 17 and 18, where Paul applies it to the Gentiles. "Now this I say and testify in the Lord, that you must no longer walk as the Gentiles do, in the futility of their minds. They are darkened in their understanding, alienated from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them due to the hardness of heart, due to their hardness of heart." And here he says, "Dia tain porosin." Dia, on account of, tain porosin, the hardness. On account of the hardness, that's why they're ignorant. That's why they're alienated from the life of God. That's why they lack understanding. That's why they have futility of their minds, because their hearts are hardened, and the pleading that they should be experiencing from the Spirit of God is not getting through. Right? Good stuff. Let's go on and see him apply it to the Jews in Romans chapter 11, verse 25. "Lest you be wise in your own sight, I want you to understand this mystery, brothers. A partial hardening, porosis apomerus, which means a hardening from parts, right? So it's not the whole thing, but parts are hard. Porosis apomerus, a hardening from parts, has come upon Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles has come in." So he tells the Ephesians that the Gentiles are suffering from a hardness of heart. Then he tells the Roman Christian church that the Jews are experiencing a partial hardening while God is working on the hearts of the Gentiles to bring them in. Interesting how the two things sort of synthesize into a whole package. Finally, we're going to see it used as a verb, and this is in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 14. "But their minds were hardened," eporothe, and eporothe is a passive verb, so their minds were hardened. They didn't harden their minds, something else hardened their minds. "For to this day, when they read the Old Covenant, that same veil remains unlifted, because only through Christ is it taken away." So the only hope for them is to have this hardening of their hearts reversed in order that the veil may be lifted and they may see things as they truly are. So porosis, our word of the week, it means a hardness or an insensitivity. And it's used to describe a condition, and it can also be used as a verb to describe the process of achieving that condition. Hardness, usually of the heart, as it's used in the New Testament. Thanks for watching. I hope that was interesting. If it was, please like, share, subscribe, and tell a friend. And until next time, Karas Kairene Humine, grace and peace to you.